welcome to my channel. Oh my god, that just feels so weird. I am not used to saying welcome to anything. Like, I'm a writer. If you haven't already, check out purelyleisha.com where I document my life experience, writing, creative, anything about. Okay, wait, I got so excited. I forgot to tell you guys who I am and what we're talking about. My name is Carlisha, as known as Purely Leisha, and this is my very first video, so I'm extremely excited. I kind of jumped right into the point. But today we're going to talk about being a first-time home buyer. And this has been like one of my biggest accomplishments. So I'm going to answer 3 of the most commonly asked questions when purchasing a home. So now we can go into this video. Okay, let us continue. Life. So I remember back in 2016, I was like 24. I was living in North Georgia for a while, so this is like home to me. P. What feels like home to you? I'll wait. And I remember I called my dad randomly on a Thursday, and I was like, Dad, I want a new car. And he was like, I could feel his face like stretch in the phone, through the phone. He was like, why do you need a new car? And I said, I don't know, I just want one. You don't need a new car. I need for you to start looking into investing in some property. And I was like, property? Anytime I think of a home, I think of my parents. Like, I think of, they have a house, they have a family, they are married. So what do I, single, no kids, need a house for? That was my first thought. Like, dead, like, I can tell you no lie. When I tell y'all I started looking on Zillow, owners.com, could not do it. And then something came over me and I was like, okay, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna take it seriously and we're going to really run with it. Knuckle down and we're gonna do it. So I decided to really pursue purchasing my home because my rent was increasing. I was like paying so much for a rent, like a 750 square foot apartment and $1,200 a month. I lived at that apartment for 2 years. So $1,200 a month times 24 months equals this much. I am not getting any of that back. That is for that apartment complex. That is what they charge. That is for them. Keyword, them. So as I started looking around and researching, I started to see what was the average price for a home in North Georgia. Neighborhoods, great school systems, we'll get back to that. But I was like, okay, hell no, I can't afford this. But we're gonna come back to that too because it's so doable once you start doing your research. So I was throwing away money at this price where I could be paying the same price and have a full place to lay my head. You first have to ask yourself, is it something that you really want to do? And if it is, I promise you from experience, it is so doable. My best advice to you is you have to be disciplined. So the number 2 biggest question I get asked in home ownership journeys is the budget. My God, can you afford a house? A house, when you say house, it just sounds like a lot. Like, it's just not something that, oh yeah, I bought a house. That's a big thing. The most important thing is your budget. Budget is extremely important because when you lock yourself in on something, it becomes like, okay, I can't come out of, like, you want to be locked in and not like out here. So you want to be here. It's going to be a house that looks better. You are like, this works. Like, this little bubble I'm in works. You're going to see things that are going to catch your eye all the time. And you have to lock yourself in on what you know, not what you feel, what you know you can live within. So I quoted myself at this budget. I cannot go past this budget because in buying a house, it becomes thousands of dollars outside of your budget, not just hundreds, because you're looking at the paint color, the exterior, if it's an in unit, if it has white countertops, if it has white cabinets. So when you start seeing things that kind of like look better, price gonna keep going up. So you have to stay in your bubble. And I say this because you have to have a safety net. So the things that happen without us knowing that it's going to happen. Property taxes go up. A flood happens in your house. You got to replace your AC or hot water heater, whatever. You want to be able to cover those expenses. So when you start reaching outside of your budget just because it looks better, you're stretching yourself out further than your comfort zone as far as like what you can live under. Be in your safety net and have room to cover expenses around your safety net. I wish I could draw a circle. Like, be in your safety net. This is your safety net. And be able to cover the expenses around your safety net, because weather happens unexpectedly, things happen, power goes out, whatever. The apartment is not going to take care of it. Okay? One time, I kid you not, my washing machine stopped working. And I was like, oh my God, this is the first time I can't call maintenance. So these were expenses I had to take care of, but it was around my safety net.
I know. I want to talk about it. And I know you don't.
Okay, so the final third most commonly asked question and concern about purchasing a home is the money. Don't let that number scare you. As you would not let a $50,000 car scare you and you're going to go buy it. Unless you pay in cash, by all means, I support that. You're not putting all that money up front. And that's a lot of the kind of scariness or gray area that people kind of come into, is they fear that number. That's your budget. And if you're safe, if you feel safe in that area, if you feel like it's a great commute for you to work, if it has good schools, if you have kids, you can do it. You can work it out. It's so achievable, you guys. We buy the dumbest stuff. When you stop eating out for a month or two, I promise you'll have your down payment ready. Or maybe 3. I ate out a lot. We set ourselves up for the things that we want to do in life. And if that requires you cutting out for a few, like 6 months, no eating out, straight meal prep, straight, hell, even if it's just like, give yourself, eat out once a month. You can save the money for the down payment. Discipline is so important when it comes to why the money scares you. And when we get back and come into the next video about the jargons of purchasing a home, so all those things that scared the heck out of me, but it's okay because we're past that. We're growing, right? And if you think it's time to invest, it's time. So better late than never, but never late is better. So that concludes today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Just to recap what we talked about, just the 3 most commonly asked questions and concerns when purchasing a home: why to buy a house, the budget, and the money. That's 2 different things. Budgeting and like the down payment and stuff is 2, so I had to split that up. But just the down payment and like the cost of a house. So what we're going to talk about in the next vlog. Bear with me, I'm just used to blogging it, not video recording it. We're going to talk about in the next vlog is a little bit more into detail, and I will walk you guys step by step through like what it takes, the process of having a real estate agent, having the leasing agent help you all the way through the process, the incentives behind like new neighborhoods and stuff. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button under this video. Thank you guys so much for just rocking with me. Head over to my website if you haven't already and subscribe to purelyleisha.com to stay up in content. And I hope you guys have an amazing week. Bye.